Happy Tuesday morning to you all. Headed out on a work commute on the Rebel this morning. I think today might be my last work day for the week. I've got tomorrow, Wednesday, to prep for my trip up to Annapolis, Maryland on this, most likely, for the Life of Birch meetup. I haven't decided 100% if this is going to be it, so I'm going to put a poll out today asking everybody what I should ride up there, whether it's this, the CB500X, or the really crazy voices in my head are saying take the Ryker just to suffer. Ride the Ryker up there, put 3,000 miles on that thing just to seal its fate. You know, maybe I get so annoyed with it I just ride it off into the ocean when I get up there. I don't know, we'll see. So I'll put the poll out, see what everybody says. Most likely it'll be this. But whatever bike I choose, I need to start prepping it tomorrow, get it all ready to go so I can hit the road as early as possible Thursday morning and make as many miles as I can to arrive up there in a decent time for me to get relax a little bit, you know, recover from the 1,500 mile trip, and then the meetup is Saturday morning. So plan is to leave as early as possible Thursday morning. Probably, I don't know if I'll do another iron butt like I did last year. I'll probably try to break it up into bite-sized pieces, and I'll adjust my route so I can take part of the Natchez Trace if the weather is okay this year. Last year it was storming like crazy, and I'd like to hit part of the Blue Ridge on the way up there. That'd be nice. So see how my path goes. I will publish my intended route before I leave. Oh, watch out, kitty kitty. And I'll share my track with my Spot satellite tracker, so anybody that wants to follow along can stay up to date on my progress. And potentially, you know, if you're in the area at one of my stops, I'll be able to meet up with anybody. But I'll be on the road, you know, kind of on a schedule getting up there. Getting back won't be quite as hectic, but it'll still be on a time limit. I won't be, you know, totally relaxed riding back as far as just taking my time, because I do need to get back into the Houston area early next week. You know, I'm anticipating getting back on Monday late. I don't want to push that much later in the week, because that only gives me a couple more days to prep and catch up with any emergency work tasks or whatever before I leave again for my scooter tour, our pre-Cannonball Run shakedown ride. That's going to be, it's a 1,500 mile loop, but once I get my to and fro, it's going to be 2,500 mile trip, maybe 3,000 miles almost, throughout the same area, kind of that I'm going up toward Annapolis. I'll be headed all the way up the Natchez Trace with Neil and whoever else wants to come along. And the loop is going to take us all the way up and around. I talked about that. I posted the picture. I'll post it again here just for clarity. We're going to go up as far north as the corner of Illinois, and then kind of west, curving back southwest into Missouri and Arkansas, and then down through the side of Oklahoma, Arkansas area. So it should be a good ride. That's a planned 8-day trip. I don't know if I'll be able to do the whole thing, but we'll see how it goes. We'll be moto camping the whole thing, letting new riders try out their chops at moto camping if they're up for it. Otherwise, there are hotels, you know, kind of sort of close by. So it's going to be a busy schedule, but not busy work or anything like that. It's going to be riding for about 2.5 weeks throughout October. And then very likely that's going to be it for my long trips this year until early next year, and then I'll start doing some more of my distance rides and goofing off and all that. But through the winter, I'll probably do a couple of little, 3-day, maybe 4-day excursions, but not across the country. Probably just stay here in Texas. I might go do the Texas hammock hangers fall hang again this year. They usually do that in November, so if the timing works out on that, I'll try that. And then I also had a subscriber that was pinging me on email saying that he was planning on heading down toward the Houston area to meet with family or friends or something like that, and he wanted to come by and say howdy and do a little meetup ride. And he won't be bringing a bike with him, obviously, so he said, if it's okay, I'll just ride one of your extras and we'll go fart around. I said, yeah, man, sure. And the first week of October here was good, until I leave. So his schedule was delayed or postponed or whatever. So that may not work out depending on when he comes back or when he comes down here and when I get back into town. So we'll see how it goes. I didn't have time to put my bar risers on this thing yet. I still have the bar risers that I ordered a long time ago. I don't know if they'll fit this thing or not. I know Fran had a set of 3-inch risers that he was trying to pawn off on me. I might consider that. I don't know. It depends on if I think I can tolerate these bars for 1,500 miles up there. Otherwise, I might try to put those 2-inch risers that I've got on this just to bring them back a little bit. We'll see. If this is the one that everybody votes for. Problems on the highway. That's in the HOV lane. Ew. Hope there's not more of that. That's one big problem about the HOV, especially out in this area. It's just one lane, so if there's some kind of a problem, then it just parks, totally stuck. Oh, check out that sunrise. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. So I forgot to mention that I'm riding with the Hero 11 this morning. That's my vlogging rig for today. I rode a short little test ride with it yesterday to kind of check camera angles and figure out if it was behaving the way that I wanted. And the video footage came out okay. So it seems like it's going to be good quality video. As far as the logistics and the management of the camera itself, as a vlogging camera, it's kind of a pain in the butt because of the media mod and the location of the ports and the battery and the SD card are on the wrong side of it and all that. So I don't know. It's going to be problematic. I just have to adjust my workflows and my routines that I have for working with the camera and doing battery changes and all that, because you have to completely dismount the camera in order to change the battery. You can't just slide it out of the housing or anything. With my Hero 7 Black that I've used for the last several years, I have a Ulanzi vlogging case for that, and it's really easy because it's got a slide door on the back of it. The thing was just fantastic, and such a beautiful design on that. Instead of that clamshell nonsense that you have to mess with the GoPro frames, you just, on this, I would tilt the camera forward and then just slide the back of it right off, and I could hop the camera out, undo the bottom door, swap the battery or the SD card or whatever it was that I needed to do, and then just slide it back in, put the back on, done. So you didn't have to undo the mount that's attached to the helmet. This, unfortunately, the mounts are on the bottom of the camera, those fingers. The media mod does not have a full-length slot or a cutout for those fingers. So when you want to take the camera out of the mount, you've got to take the camera off of, or take the camera off of the mount. You got to take it out of the media mod. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, you can't just open the side of the media mod and slide the camera out of it. The fingers on the bottom get in the way, so it's problematic. And that means you're futzing around with the thumb screw, and the thumb screw on it, there's not enough clearance to the bottom of the case, so you got to get an extra long thumb screw that doesn't come with the camera, obviously, and I don't even have any that are long enough. It's a serious design faux pas, in my opinion. I don't know what GoPro was thinking, letting that get past the design phase. So the thumb screw needs to be almost an inch longer, you know, for the knurlings, to where you can even get your fingers on the silly thing to tighten it up. And the biggest issue is it interferes with the bottom of the media mod case itself. So when you get full tightened in, it's actually cocking the case sideways. It's lifting it up because there's not enough clearance. So anyway, suboptimal design. So what I'm doing or planning to do for this trip is I got a small enough USB battery pack that I'm going to be mounting to the back of my helmet, over on the side of the back, and I'll run a USB-C cord around the side of the helmet and plug into the edge of the media mod, you know, the USB pass-through port. So that will give me more battery capacity and charging and all that. It won't solve the SD card issue. Still have to change my SD cards periodically, so that means unmounting the thing and starting over and blah, 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 blah. And yes, of course, you can do the wireless offload to your phone with the GoPro app and all that, but I mean, if you've got a 256 gig card or a 512 gig card and you filled that up, yeah, good luck transferring that to your phone, because most phones these days don't have that much storage. So it's just easier to swap the card out. Temperature is fantastic lately, man. We've had just beautiful, beautiful weather in Houston for the last week. 2 weeks, pretty much. Yeah, 2 weeks. It's been dry, no rain down here. Nighttime temperatures are getting into the low 60s, like high 50s, low 60s range. Daytime temps are in the high 80s. It's just absolutely marvelous. Humidity's been pretty tolerable. It's been thick a few days, but overall it's, you know, around 40% humidity, which is pretty nice for Houston. We're used to living in 70-80% humidity. Use it. You got nothing but empty road. Find a spot. Put your signal on and get in there. Every time I see a car with a bike carrier or truck with a bike in the back or whatever, it keeps reminding me I want to build my bike on a bike mount for the Ryker. If I keep the Ryker, I'm going to build a plate that I can slide onto the max mount in the back that has a you know, triangulated mount on it and a fork hitch, so I can toss my road bike on the back of it, haul my road bike out to the nice rural roads out west of town and ride, and then come back. Bike on a bike, or bike on a trike. All right, people, come on. I was checking the rear tire on this thing, and
I think I've still got 3,000 miles of tread life in it. I haven't put a depth gauge, tread depth gauge on it, but I've got plenty of room down to the wear dots, you know, the bottom of the wear dots, so I think it'll be okay. I have, you know, 7,000 miles and change on this one already, so that's pretty impressive. If I can get, you know, anywhere from 8 to 10,000 miles out of this thing. This is not a super heavy bike. It's, you know, I can't remember how heavy it is, 500 pounds and change, 508, something like that. So it's not crazy heavy, but it's got a lot of power. And you know, when you got high torque, high horsepower bikes, they usually shred those rear tires pretty fast. So the tread life on these Dunlops is pretty impressive. Not disappointed at all. Now the tires themselves aren't the greatest. You know, they don't have the greatest traction. So when these wear out, which will be right after the Annapolis trip if I take this up there, I'll be putting the Metzler Cruise Techs on here for sure. I've had good luck with the Metzlers and Continentals in the past on my big touring bikes and sport tours and stuff. But these Dunlops, I've been pretty impressed with them. For OEM tires, they're not bad at all. They've got very good wet weather performance, rain performance. They can be a little greasy, slippery feeling in corners when the pavement is wet, but as far as resistance to hydroplaning and all that, they're great. Yeah, as far as the bike choices on the trips, I was actually thinking about rushing and trying to get my SilverWing ready for the road and take the SilverWing all the way up to Annapolis and then just hang out in the Ozark area, you know, the south end, well, not Ozarks, it'd be south end of the Natchez Trace to meet up with all the people for the scooter ride. But that would put me out for an additional week, and I don't think the SilverWing is ready for prime time yet, so wouldn't be a good idea. I need to put fresh tires on it because the ones that are on there are pretty crusty, and there's just not enough time to get all that done. Taking the 500X up there would be easy, but then I wouldn't be on a scooter for the scooter trip. I don't know, I could take the 500X up to Annapolis and then just come back, but considering the scooter trip is supposed to be kind of a pre-cannonball run shakedown, I really should take the PCX 150. I ordered my plug patches for the rear tire on that scoot, and they've been out of stock or whatever for weeks, and they're finally just showing up today or tomorrow after, you know, a 3-week, 4-week wait, whatever it's been. I pulled the rear wheel off of that thing hoping to do a video and patch it and all that, but I couldn't find my patches in the garage. I have no clue what I did with them. And I ordered another set of the ones that I like, and just, it's been a waiting game. So I'll patch that rear tire before the trip, obviously. If I can find a new City Grip 2, I might just order it and put a fresh tire on the back of it before then, but I'd like to start the Cannonball next year with a fresh rear tire and not already have, you know, 3,000 miles or something on it, because the Cannonball is going to be a 8,500 mile trip, and I think that's probably going to be about, you know, probably 60 or 70% of that tire's life right there, so I wouldn't want to be getting myself too thin at the end of that trip. I think I'm going to cheat and go the other way. It's going to be easier. This is such a terrible backup over here. If you cheat and exit the right over here at the 290 I-10 Express, whatever it is, the park and ride thing, you can just go down the access road over here. And usually that works out a lot better than 2 miles of this. I don't even think it, jackass. Oh, he's got a flat tire. I thought he was going to try to cut in through the barriers. Yeah, 2 miles to stop traffic. No, thanks. That's a bad idea on a motorcycle. And I don't know what this smoke is, but it smells chemical. That's not good. I don't know if you guys can see the haze in the camera, but it's smoke from some kind of a structure fire, but it's definitely got a chemical contingent to it. Keep going, dude. Seriously paranoid driver here. Come on. Let's see if I can split. I think I can. Yeah, that'll work. Look at that. Look at that. Let's fold the mirrors in. Rebel's a little on the fat side, but it can make it. Really hate following behind these guys. Looks like he's got those ladders tied down, but man, pickup trucks in Houston carrying unsecured loads or improperly secured loads, oh my god, such a problem. See full-size 8-foot, 12-foot extension ladders, aluminum ladders on the highway here all the time. And imagine hitting one of those on a motorcycle. Oh, talk about a bad day. I've run over them before flat. You know, they've already been pommeled into the ground somewhat, so they're not, you know, full profile, but oh, good Lord. Really dangerous thing about that, obviously, you know, is blowing out your front tire or losing control when you hit it, but even if it doesn't blow your front tire or bend your forks when you hit it, it's going to flip up somewhat and catch the rear as you're going over it, or catch your leg or something else. I'm going to go ahead and split. I know it's rude, but you know, I know how long that light is, and I would not make a full cycle of that light. I think I can make it. Think I can make it. Think I can make it. Oh, I can make it. I can make it. I need to fold my mirrors in. There's one mirror. While rolling. Hey, front of the line. One of these days this will be approved in Texas, but until then I'll just keep doing it judiciously. Nobody had to wait for me. And this is less fun. I'm going to flip the mirrors in again. And let's see if we can carefully get through the piles of oversized cages. Whoa, we got two people thinking the same at the same. That's why I like these lane splitters. They do stick out further than factory mirrors would, but you can just flip them in with one finger, with your little finger. When you got them flipped in, you can't see anything behind you, though. We got another flashing light. So I don't know if that's a problem or just somebody's buying a little piece of the city. Yep, I'm dead again. I think I can make it through. Gonna be tight, but I can make it. The rubble is a little fat for this, but it can work. It can work. As long as I don't clip a mirror, I'm good. Yeah, smoke is getting thick. Have to check the news and figure out what's burning, because it is thick through here. Can't tell if it's coming from the park area over there or what, because it's just everywhere. So, obviously, those are the advantages of riding a motorcycle in busy metro traffic. You can filter through lanes and lane split, as we call it here. It's very common in other countries, and it's just never taken off here as an accepted practice. Of course, we do it occasionally when we need to, or when we feel like it. As long as you do it safe and at reasonable speeds, then it's not really a problem. But the cagers here don't like it at all. They are very territorial and aggressive, and they'll try to wreck you. Hell, I've had guns pulled on me. People get so pissed off. If they have to wait in line, so do you. Yeah, blow it out your ass. So on the Ryker, you can't do that. The Ryker's too wide. It's as wide as a smart car. You can squeeze through some spots, but yeah, generally it's waiting in line behind everybody else. Oh boy. So I need to put my excuse me. I need to put my mounts back up here on the Rebel. Put my quad lock charger on one side or the other. I don't know. I'll figure out which side I want, and then I have the other one for GoPro or GPS or whatever. I might mount up my Zumo cradle on here for the trip if I end up taking this bike. Just have a dedicated GPS. My new phone should be here today, the Samsung S22 Ultra. I got that yesterday, and they're shipping it next day priority, so it's supposed to be at my house by 10 or 11 this morning. I won't be there because I'm busy working, but yeah, whatever. I could use the new phone as GPS, but I'm a little concerned about the cameras on it. I don't want the cameras out here in the wind, because that's how my S10 Plus that I've got right now, that's how both of the cameras, or both phones that I had, that's how the cameras got cracked. Is it was out here in the wind, and they took a little stone, both of them. The one just before the Cannonball Run got damaged, and then I got it replaced. And then just before my Birch trip last October, I had that, the new phone, brand new, like 2 days old, and it got damaged on the way up. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding, man. So if I put it up here, I will have to turn it in and have the lenses more covered by the edge of the windscreen, so it'll be horizontal instead of vertical, which isn't a bad idea anyway. But yeah, you got the point. I might be able to put it over here on this side. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Good old Westheimer. I don't come through here much anymore. I kind of hate this area. I lived here for over 10 years, down in this area, a mile that way. I just don't come down here anymore, but I've got a breakfast meet over here at Sweet Paris, I think is the name of the place. Nice little restaurant. And then just down the street, I've got a job, so we chose this as our breakfast joint this morning instead of the usual World Bakery. And I'm hungry this morning, man. This food is going to be good. They have stuffed crepes here, all kinds, sweet, savory, whatever you want. And the one that I've been getting, I can't remember, I think they call it the Louisiana or something like that, but it's got kind of everything in it. Bacon, sausage, you name it, all wrapped up in a crepe on the outside, and you can get it with goat cheese or whatever you want, and then syrup if you choose to sweeten it, whatever. Pretty good.
see how that is. And they're going to block me, of course. Yep. Yep, of course. Yep. Yep. Yep, of course. Yep. If I were on one of my mini motos, I'd hoodlum it right over the curb. I could fit right there between the bushes, but I don't think this fat pig will make it there. Okay. I've arrived. Instead of parking on the curbs and everywhere else I normally have to. Actually, that business is out of business, so I could park up there. Nah, screw it. Okay, then. I will catch you all a little bit later in the day, maybe. We'll see how the schedule turns out for vlogging and riding and all that. Catch you later.